All right.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to pin you now so that. So, what can I do for you?
So, uh, I'll give you a little bit of background, I guess. I've been probably since the start of my IFS journey, I've been on this spiritual path, kind of parallel with it, which started with a lot of having to deconstruct religion and spirituality from a lot of past religious trauma, which like started me on this journey. And
Hmm.
I've been making, I don't know if like progress is like the appropriate word, but like lots of gains kind of in my spiritual journey. But I've always noticed, and I've never really been able to pinpoint it, but I've always noticed there's just been something that's been blocking. And it's like the more I heal, it's like the block gets intense. And I really have started to notice it in the past probably month. So I did a Soma journey, which really opened up my system in a really big way. And I
Okay,
sat,
let me stop you for. Is Soma the East Coast term for 5-MeO?
yeah, yes,
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure I had
yeah.
that right.
And really, a lot of my scared parts, I sat with them who were like, you're going to leave us behind. And anyway, so we had this really beautiful journey. And then I came home and felt like part of it might have been a contraction, but felt this huge, like just energy. And I was like, okay, interesting. And then 2 weeks ago, I went to Montreal for a training with Francois and beautiful week. And then I did some healing when I was down there. And then same thing. Last week I came home and last week was the most intense. And I still didn't really know what was going on last week, but I just had a ton of firefighters all week. I canceled all my sessions and I just felt this like I felt low level shame, like buzzing kind of all week. And I couldn't really pinpoint it. And then on Friday of last week, I kind of came downstairs into my office and just was sitting inside and just noticing that there's like this dark kind of energy, and I have this young part. Um, and so that's kind of where I am. And so I've been sitting with it. And what I've got was this. At first, I thought the little part was attached to this, what looks like dark energy. And I sat with it with a peer today and just like a peer consult group. What I got was that she's not attached to it. She's like so stuck in this concrete box because of it, because she's so scared of it. But what I got from the energy was that the more that I heal, the bigger this block gets that's between kind of me and this like spirit or source or whatever you want to call it. And just like saying like why would God want you, like you're dirty, and like those are kind of the messages.
Right.
um so anyways, in 5 minutes, that's my brief of
Great.
where I'm at.
When you
Yeah,
say a workshop with Francois Berzat?
Ludo's
Oh, Ledos. Oh,
in
okay.
the relational intelligence stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So, is that dark energy here now?
Yeah, I have a sense of it.
Okay, great. Are all your parts willing for us to go interact with it, or is anybody too scared of it, or have any problem whatsoever with interacting with the dark energy?
So I'm noticing, are you sure you want to go there?
Hmm.
So there's like some hesitation from a part.
Yeah. Would you like me to address that, or what would you like?
Yeah, so I was just letting it know that it doesn't have to go there, that like you and I can go there.
Hmm. And there's two ways it can get very safe. Is it already okay, or does it need more?
There was a little bit of softening around that. Like, so there was some humor a little bit around, oh, I don't have to go.
Yeah,
So there, it feels like there's some softening there.
yeah. It could go to a safe, contained place behind you, or we could just hang out with this part for a while until you and it are so well connected with such a warm connection that it doesn't feel scared by this dark energy anymore. There's sort of a secret, and it's not really an open secret about these dark energies. They only get power by scaring us. When we're not scared of them, they lose all power. And they're really, really good at scaring us, especially little kid parts of us. And if you think about it for a couple minutes, any being that would go around scaring little kids is not truly powerful.
Yeah, that really landed for this part. So the part feels, it was like a shift, like the part is feeling like, oh, and so the part's kind of beside me now, and that feels okay for the part.
Great, great. So let's double check. Everybody else okay with us doing this?
So there's a part over here, not with a concern, but was just letting me know that this energy's been in here for a long time, and it's just like appreciative that we're working on it now. So it's just kind of like this has been here for so long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, good. So as you sense that dark energy now, how do you sense it? How do you know it's there?
Yeah. So I can feel, so I can see the energy, um, like in the distance. And when I focus on it, I can feel like vibrations and like not quite tension, but there's energy that moves in my neck.
In your neck, it looks like you're touching your throat.
Yeah, like in,
Front of your neck.
say that
Just
again.
front of your neck.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, great. Really good. Are you afraid of this dark energy right now?
no.
Great. Let it know. Hi there. We'd like to get to know you. What's your intention? What do you need?
So I'm noticing the energy intensifying, like into my head and like a pushback.
Mhm.
And so I'm just kind of with that.
Great. Let it know this. Whoever or whatever you are, we want to help you. We don't want to hurt you. We have no interest in punishment or judgment or anything like that. What do you need? What's your intention?
So the part is not listening to me, or not the part that whatever it is. And it's just like screaming at me, and like calling me names.
Calling you names?
Yeah, telling me to go away.
Okay. Ask it this. Why are you calling me names? Seems like you're angry.
So it's like really angry that I'm paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell it this. You're suffering. You are clinging here out of desperation and starvation, and you've never really been able to get what you need here. And you know that's true. We're going to help you go to where you can get what you really need. It's a much better place, and you really will like it when you get there.
I can't get what I need anywhere.
That's not true. And we can prove to you that you've been living in a world of delusion and lies quite easily if you have a little bit of courage. Maybe start this way, Mel. Flood the area inside you with light, like turning on a light switch in your inner world. And then let that light form a container around this dark energy, all of it, but a gentle, spacious container where it can be comfortable. And then gently pull it out in front of you to a good conversational distance. I don't know what that would be for you, 6 feet, 8 feet, something like that. And see how that goes. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah, so I'm noticing a container in front of me with darkness in it. And it's kind of just like moving around. Like it almost seems like whatever it is just like looking around in the space.
Okay, okay. Tell it this. We want to help you. We know you've been suffering horribly. We want to help you go where you can get all your needs met and where you can heal. Now just notice, are there any cords or tubes or tentacles or anything coming from that being out there in the light and touching your body anywhere, Mal?
So I don't know if um this is what you're talking about or not, but when you were talking, I was getting memories of um like times when I was sexually assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that, yeah, I don't know if that's connected to a part of me or where that was coming from.
Okay. Ask the dark being, did you get in during the sexual assaults?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank the dark being for telling us that. Now,
It was in particular the very first time.
sadly, this is really, really common. Beings like this get in when people are raped and molested, all very often. So maybe just check again and see, are there any cords coming from that being out there who got in during the sexual assault and touching your body anywhere?
I noticed one faint chord.
Mm-hmm. Where does it touch you? If it's just flopping around the air, it's not really that important. But if it touches your body, we need to pay attention.
Yeah, it's touching me in like my left hip area.
Okay, great. Get really specific about noticing just where in your left hip that touches you. There's a part of you who lives in there who's still trapped by this being in some way. Maybe call out, "Oh, hello, who's trapped here? Who's trapped?" And see if that one who's still trapped by this being can hear you and orient to your voice.
Yeah, there's a little one, or like preteen one that's trapped in a car from the first time that I was sexually assaulted.
Okay. How are you feeling towards her?
Really tender.
Great. Gently, gently, gently offer that to her mouth. Human tenderness might be really a rare or maybe something she's never experienced. So gently offer this and see if she can take some in.
So she's laying in the back seat of the car. And so I just like what my sense was. So I got in the front and just extended my hand. And so she didn't say anything. She just like gently touched me. And so
Great.
we're just sensing, like just in silence, but just
That's huge courage, I think, from her.
she feels like desperate
Mm-hmm.
um for care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's true for you, let her know I'm right here and I have lots of care. And offer it to her really gently. Maybe start with just, "You could experience my care as a fresh breeze, like through a pine forest or off the ocean. You could just let it freshen the air around you. Or if you want more, you could take in a few drops so that you could taste it and see that this is really good for you." See if she can do that.
He's hesitant to trust because she's been hurt and broken so many times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she senses like a drop of something different.
Mm-hmm. Great.
That energetic kind of touch that we have. So
Mm-hmm.
she's curious.
Great. Great. Tell her this now. There's no reason why you should trust us after everything you've been through. It's our job to earn your trust.
That's something she's never heard before.
And, and tell her this. Here's how you might, if you want, let us earn your trust. You just notice as you take in what you're sensing in your hand, those little bit of care there, and you notice, does this make you stronger inside? I think it will as you start to take it in. And then maybe that will help you trust it a little more. How is that for her? Is she starting to feel a little stronger?
Yeah, so she sat up. And she's like hesitantly enjoying it. There's like that skeptical,
Wonderful.
like,
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful.
yeah.
That's big courage. And tell her, take your time.
She
And
was like feeling in and she was noticing like an energetic shift in her heart space, but like not super sure what it was. Like she feels very much like she's orienting to the connection,
great,
but
great.
very skeptical and hesitant, because for her, she doesn't know what true connection is. And
Yeah,
so she, what does it feel like? She has a hard time, I guess, trusting herself.
of course,
Yeah.
of
And
course.
and the connection to it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Tell her this. We'll go as slow as you want. And I think a way you can tell is as you take in this stuff, if it's good for you, it makes you feel stronger and more dependent, more independent. That's how you can tell the stuff from that dark energy was bad. It made you weaker and more dependent at the end of the day.
So she just had a, because the dark energy felt like it was really keeping her stuck in this vehicle in a
Mm,
sense. Um, so the flip for her was like, you mean I can leave the vehicle? Like it didn't occur to her that it was safe to leave the vehicle or that
mm,
that was an option. So she's had this flip
great.
in her curiosity.
Mhm. Can you and her get out of that vehicle safely together?
Yeah, so it feels like because the energy is contained,
Mm-hmm.
we can get out, uh, and we're in on the property where that car was, which doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell her this. There's, for now, if you're willing, we can go away to someplace safe and comfortable and just be there together. And if you want later, we can go back here to where all this bad stuff happened, witness you completely so that you're not left alone with anything. And then we can get all of that gunk and yuck out of you.
Mhm.
But if it's okay with her for today, and we can stay with her and do this other thing if that's right. But we were sort of focusing on getting this dark energy out first. What does she think is the right thing to do?
Yeah, she wants us to work with that energy.
Okay, so can you and she get to someplace safe?
Mhm.
Oh, great. And now that you two are so well connected, usually any connection back to that dark energy just sort of like dissolves. So just check and see, is that thin little string still there or is it gone? Whatever's real, no make believe.
Yeah, it feels like it's gone. She feels like because she has the connection, like
Mm,
that, she doesn't need that. Like that connection doesn't have to be there.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
if it's there, yeah.
yeah. Okay. So take that dark energy in the ball of light and remind it we're here to help it. We don't want to punish it or judge it at all. Pull it another, maybe a foot away from your body and notice very carefully, are there any tugs or pulling anywhere on you that would let us know there's still, yet, another connection?
So I'm noticing, and not a concern, just a part that says, that has a request that says, kind of cheekily, are we going to be some weird guru, spiritual whatever when this thing is gone? Um, and so I said, we don't have to be. And so the part request was, I want a seat at the table when decisions are being made, which is reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that part spoke up. Okay. So let's talk to that dark thing out there. Let it know. We know you're suffering horribly, even though you may pretend not to, and that you've been clinging here out of desperation and starvation. We can help you go to where you can heal and get all the food and all the care that you've been trying to get for so long. And there's a very short and quick way, but it requires a fair amount of courage. And if you're still dubious, there's easier things that require less courage that could help you on your way. Do you want to try the really courageous direct route, or do you want some smaller steps first?
The energy feels ready. What I was getting was that it's been like jumping around trying to find what it needs and has never, like what you were saying was like kind of, it was like listening. Um,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Tell it this. Here's the direct path. Gather your courage and look up. Usually beings like you see a tunnel-like structure, or maybe a trail or a path. And at the far end of that, there's light, and they're kind, loving beings leaning down, calling out to you, calling you home. They've missed you. They want you home. They know you've been horribly lost and have not been able to find your way home. And now here, it's opening for you. And see if this dark being has the courage to look up.
So it feels like it's gone,
Okay.
but I'm noticing like the energetic felt sense of it. I still notice.
Okay. It might be a memory or it might be this thing. Just let it know you have to take all your parts, all your objects, all your employees, slaves, minions. All of that has to go with you now. Nothing can stay here in me. And tell it this. Go in peace as you take everything that's yours. You will need it all up there to heal completely.
So I can feel like energy moving.
Great, great. Go in peace. You're done here. It's over here. And if it's true for you, I'm sorry you suffered so long. Now the pathway home is open. Go in peace. Very often beings like this see loving hands reaching down to welcome them and gather them in. Sometimes even guides come down to help them make the transition. Yeah, let your body do anything it wants, Mel. Let your breath and body contain ancient, ancient wisdom. Very wise. You have a great wisdom deep in the marrow of your bones. Yeah, yeah. Oh, is there stuff still streaming out of you and going up into the light?
No, I was just noticing the somatic kind of, it was like, it felt more like a somatic experience of feeling all the energy and then like slowly feeling it dissipate, I guess, or like calm.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
great, great. Does that feel good?
Mhm.
Now let's do one thing, which is sort of a ritual, but it's also sort of a way of scanning very carefully and systematic. Just say to all the energies that are external to you, all any dark energies or other energies like it, just start with this. You are no longer welcome in my body. And notice if there's any response anywhere in your body. You are no longer welcome in my emotions. And notice if any feelings come up. You are no longer welcome in my thinking. And notice if there are any intrusive thoughts. You are no longer welcome in my beliefs. Notice if any of those old beliefs are still there. And lastly, you are no longer welcome in my spirit. Go in peace. It's over. Your breath really knows how to do this. Way smarter than I am.
Yeah, as you were going through them, I was noticing like hearts responding, but I wasn't noticing any, like I was noticing a lot of calmness
Great.
continuously as you were moving through.
I think you're in the clear. So let's come back into your system and call all the parts out. Hey, gang. Hi. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, there's just kind of a general sense of calmness.
Great.
And
Anybody?
I have my two parts that I know I need to work on that were connected to that.
Mm-hmm.
Noticing them also.
Yeah. There's one I'm really concerned about. There was a little girl who had to hide inside a concrete bunker to stay safe.
Mm-hmm,
Can you find her now?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe call out to her and say, hey, it's gone. You're safe now. And see if she believes you.
Yeah, so she remembers me because I told her this afternoon that I was coming back to visit that
Hmm.
tonight. And where she was like really cold and really dark. And I left her with like a blanket and a light and a book. And so she slowly was coming out, and then she noticed because the darkness was blocking the light, and so
Hmm.
she noticed that it's warm and it's bright and it's nice. So she's like out of that space now, with me, just kind of in this warmth of what she's sensing, um, which is like spirit or yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. She's very courageous. Now, something that very often happens when we get energies out of like this out of people when they go, there's a lot more room for spirit and light and benevolent energies. Now, in my experience, these benevolent energies almost never come in without an invitation because they respect our free will and respect us so profoundly. So, if you want this light energy in more, you might invite it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been working to clean my vessel to make more room for you. Please come in. Encourage all your parts to welcome these kind, loving kindness energies in as much as they want. No force. And if there were any parts of you that were like dented or a little bit crushed by that dark energy, this light energy can fill them so that they're no more dense.
It's like I noticed parts like grabbing like buddies of the energies. They all have like these little bits of it, and you got like a buddy.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm,
tell them this. This is something important and really counterintuitive. You can't really hold on to this stuff. It's like water. Have you ever tried to grab a handful of water? The harder you grab, the less you've got.
mhm.
But there is a way to get more. That's to give it away. I know this sounds crazy, but just try it. Give this energy away, and you'll notice that lots more flows in. You could start by doing it with each other if you want. It works, doesn't it?
Mhm.
That goofy.
Mhm. Yeah, my parents think that's funny.
And tell them this. If you want even more, you could start giving that to people out in the world you care about, and even more will flow in. Can they feel the increased flow as you do that?
Mhm,
Yeah, it's pretty weird, huh?
mhm,
Maybe invite this into every organ of your body, especially places that have been hurt or ill. These good energies require continual invitations at each level because they respect us. And when this flow is good and strong, we become part of an ancient, ancient river that absolutely effortlessly flows through us and out to all of us and all of those around us. And it can wash away any little bits of dirt or anything that have stayed or that we're stuck on. Any little dents or cracks can be filled. And when they're filled like that, and you're part of this ancient, effortless river, there's no place for any of this dark stuff to get in or stick to you.
Yeah, the word that's coming up as I'm just noticing the river and the energy was flow, like internal and external flow.
Very great word. Maybe thinking of flow, you might notice, are there any boulders or constricted areas or obstructions or anything like that that you're aware of in the flow through your body? Not that we have to do anything about them, but it's really good to become aware of.
Yeah, I'm noticing a couple different places.
Mm-hmm. And maybe just get really curious about, if there's a boulder there, what it looks like, its color and size and shape. If there's a constriction or rapids or something like that. Just noticing all the details of how that is for you so that it's something you can come back to. These are often very, very significant trail markers. I've come to believe that every moment we can spend with this ancient river flowing through us is profoundly healing for us and for everyone we come in contact with, our friends, lovers, clients. It's even good for the people we don't like so much, which used to bother me.
Hmm.
Your breath and your body know how to let this in and help it flow. There's a deep, deep wisdom there.
Yeah, I can feel like the deepening is my breath. Excuse me. My system feels fairly open right now.
Maybe we are running down on time. We've only got about 5 minutes, a little more left. Ask all your parts. Are you all able to drink and bathe and swim and play in the river? Is there anybody sort of like peeking out from behind a curtain who's still a little shy.
Yeah, I notice one part in my stomach that's peeking out.
Tell them that's fine. You can stay there if you want. And you could taste the river too. It's up to you.
Yeah, it likes the river.
Your breath really knows how to deepen this, doesn't
Mm-hmm.
it? So, one thing you might want to do is notice all the details of how this shows up in your body, because that might help you come back here more and more easily each time you choose to revisit this river and invite these energies and benevolent beings into you.
Yeah, it feels really grounded, but also free flowing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Are there any particular places in your body where it seems to be centered or especially strong?
Like my visible front part of
Okay,
me.
great. Your torso, front torso. Great. And maybe I'm wrong, but there seems to be a special quality of breath.
Yeah,
Now, if you might ask this energy, can you help give me trail markers and ways to get back here really easily? And you might ask this energy if it has any message, word, image, song, anything it wants to send you now.
the message I get is you don't have to fear love and connection.
You don't have to fear love and connection. Last question in your inner world. Is there anything else that should happen in here today for this to be as profoundly healing as possible?
Nothing that needs to happen in this particular moment or today.
Great.
Right. Yeah.
I think that means you did a really good job, Mel. Okay. You know, a lot of people find a few deep breaths help them come back in a sweet and easy way.
Yeah. I always find it so fascinating how deep you go in and then you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Couple things I think are going to be important in the days and weeks to come ahead.
Hmm.
One is that girl you found in the back of the car. You know, we got her out to someplace safe, but she may need to go back there, be completely witnessed, and then gotten out and do a regular IFS unburdening with her,
Hmm. Hmm.
so that she's really good and free. And so that's something I really hope you can attend
Hmm.
to.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that the girl who was in that concrete bunker, be really good to check in with her every day.
Hmm. Hmm.
And any of the parts who are affected by this dark energy. Hi, gang. So glad you're home. Just so they know, this is the beginning of a whole new relationship. This wasn't just a one time whoopee. It's a
Hmm.
whole relationship. It's a different world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Logical or logistical question. How can I pay you?
PayPal.
Okay. And what did 200, right?
Right.
US? Okay.
Yep.
To the email that you and I have been emailing back and forth on?
I think so. Let me let me get you a thing here. And